Yeah, hello everyone. Let's just try to make this very quick. Okay, some time ago I made a post and I asked a question. I said, Eve took of the fruit, ate it, and gave to Adam to eat, who also ate it, knowing fully well the kind of fruit he's eating. And God came and asked, and he blamed his wife, Eve. And I asked a question. I said, who is really to blame? Is it Adam or is it Eve? And I received a whole lot of reactions from the post. I want to thank everybody that answered the question. While some said Adam was to blame, some said Eve was to blame, some said the serpent was to blame, and I just decided to answer the question and to make a video post to state my own opinion on the issue. Now, Eve was deceived by the devil and she ate the apple, the fruit per se. She ate of the fruit and gave to Adam, being the husband, who also ate from the apple and later blamed her for the whole thing. Now, who is really to blame? Now, have you asked yourself what would have happened if, when Eve gave Adam the apple, Adam refused and stood by the instruction of the Lord? Remember that the person that was given the instruction was not Eve, the wife, but Adam. Eve was not given the instruction. Adam was the one given the instruction, was the one who was given the instruction, and it was expected of Adam to pass the same instruction to Eve. Now, who is really to blame? All the blame goes to Adam. Now, why did I say all the blame goes to Adam? It's very simple. Every man, please, men, pay attention to this. Every man performs several functions. Every man. To your spouse, you perform the function of number one, a husband. A husband. And what is your duty as a husband towards your wife? Your duty as a husband towards your wife is very simple. Husband, love your wives as Christ loves the church and gave himself. Now, which means that the definition of the scriptures as it relates to love is death. Love is death, just as Christ loved the church and gave his life and died. So as a man, one of the things you should know as your function, you are performing the function of a husband, and a husband, your primary responsibility is love for your wife, and you must come to a point of giving your life for your wife. Then your second function as a man, as towards your wife, you're performing the function of a priest. Now, who is a priest? A priest is somebody that takes the voice of the people to the Father. A priest is somebody that stands in the gap between the Father and the people. Now, a priest is like a mediator. That's why we have Jesus as our chief high priest. What's he doing there? Sitting at the right hand side of God. What's he doing? He is making constant intercessions. He's standing as a mediator between ourselves and the Father. So that's the function every man plays as it regards to his wife. You are playing the role as a mediator. So if as a mediator you cry to the Father, just the same way Jesus is always crying to the Father, mercy, what happens? The Father will automatically have mercy. So your second function as a man is that of a priest. Then your last function as a man, you are performing the function of a father. And who is a father? A father is a covering. Father means Abba, and it means source, foundation. Source and foundation. Let us stick to those two. Source. Now, the woman was taken from you, which means to a very large extent you have a whole lot of role to play in her life, because whoever she grows, whoever she turns out to be is a product of who you are. Listen, who your wife turns out to be as a man is a product of who you are, is a product of your investments in her life, because you are a source to her. You are also a foundation because she was brought out from you. Listen, where she where she begins is a product of where you are. Where she is a product of where you are. Whatever you decide to invest on her will determine what she will produce. So Adam failed in his role as a husband. Now your wife committed an offense and you just brought her back to the Lord and you say, it's the woman you gave to me. No, love will not do that. Love will not do that. Look at what Jesus Christ did. We were the sinners. What did he do? He decided to take our place. That is love. So one of the first mistake Adam made, rather than standing on the love he was supposed to have, standing on his role as a husband who is to love his wife, what he did was that he casted her, like he already is the woman you give to me. It's the woman you give to me that caused this thing. He was putting all the blame on her already, rather than walking the path of love. Now the second reason why I said Adam is to blame, he failed in his function as a priest. Now, if he has refused to take from the fruit and the father comes and asks the question and he goes down on his knees and pleads, Lord, we are sorry. Indeed, my wife has eaten this thing, but we are sorry. Please have mercy. Do you think the father will not have mercy? Remember that the person the father gave the instruction in the beginning was not the woman but the man. And the father knoweth the role the man plays in the life of the woman. So he will listen, he will have mercy. So he failed also in the place of a priest. He failed in his position as a mediator. He could not stand as a mediator between his wife and God. Then lastly, he failed in the position as a father, as a source. As a source. Remember, when you say something, this thing came out from this, it means there are several similarities between them. As a matter of fact, if you see a tree that is producing bitter fruit, know that the bitterness is not the fault. It's not the fault of the fruit itself. It is the fault of the tree. It is also not the stem. It is also not the stem that has issues, but it is the tree itself. So Adam failed in his position as a husband, he failed in his position as a priest, and he failed in the position as a father, and that is what led to everything we are seeing here. The father would have restored Eve. The father is not out to condemn or to kill anybody. The father is not out to punish anybody, but to create a system through which, via constant communication, there can be a place where there can be a unison between himself and ourselves, where he begins to find total expression of himself in us and through us. That is the mission of the Father. And in doing these things, he knows that certain errors are bound to happen, but that's also one of the reasons why he made provision for mercy. Even before Jesus Christ came and died, there was already mercy. Do you understand? Before Jesus came, Jesus has been in existence from the beginning as the Word, but before he came to planet Earth to die as Jesus, there was already, as Jesus Christ, there was already provision made for mercy. So what Adam would have done was to stand as a husband, as a priest, and as a father. If he had stood in these three positions and approached the father with the mindset of seeking mercy for his wife Eve, there would have been restoration, and probably the father would have said, no problem, go and eat from the tree of life, that you might live and not die anymore. So dear man, from this story, I hope you've been able to learn that you have three different roles as a man towards your wife. Number one, your first role is as a husband, and as a husband, you are meant to love your wife unconditionally. Secondly, your role, you must learn to play the role of a priest to your wife. And who is a priest? A mediator. You must learn to always stand in the gap between herself and the father. You must learn to lead her closer to the father. Then the last thing, as a father who also is a source and a foundation. Thank you very much. I remain Pastor Victory. God bless you.